Okay, good morning. It is Wednesday, January 5th. This is the Bylaw Review Advisory Committee meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. Present are Virginia Ahart, Christine Fowles, and myself, Francine Tishman, and we're opening at 10:30 a.m. Okay, I guess no one is joining us for any public comments. So we'll skip right over that agenda item. All right, the next item is the December 1st meeting summary. Notice I don't call them minutes. We're very far from minutes. But anyway, if you had a chance to look them over and make any corrections.
No, it looked fine to me, Francine. It was covered the essential points, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did it again. I waited too long. So when we finish, I'm going to do the minutes today, right after, just so that I don't have to rely on my memory. Okay, so Virginia, nothing?
That's fine.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve the minutes, or the summary of December 1st, 2021.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there we go. That's always a tough one to get through. Okay, now we go through this last, what I hope is the last iteration of bylaws, drafts. So we'll start with the old ones and then move on. So I'm going to open up the, let me get to share screen.
Yeah, you can only do one at a time, so.
Yeah. Okay. So nuisance. Okay, can you see that?
Not yet.
No,
You have to hit share twice, Francine. This is the first time, and then you hit down at the bottom, there's another share. There's like a green bar that says share again, I think.
No.
Once you see it on your screen, look down toward the bottom. There's another time you have to hit the share button.
Okay. So
Okay.
where are you?
Okay, yeah, the green button, yeah. All
Yeah.
right, and then,
But you're okay. So go back out again. Sorry, technology.
yes, I'm getting
You're
it.
you have another thing on your Zoom. So go back to.
Okay, share. Okay, do we have it?
Don't forget to go
We
back.
got it.
Okay, all right, maybe Chris will walk, before I close this, Chris will tell me through this. All right. Okay, so one last time through this thing before we send it. There were highlighted items.
Yeah, I think these were the things, I think that this is the one I might have edited.
Right. Yes,
Yeah, right. So this was after the public meeting, and these were some of the comments that we tried to add in and clarify. So just anything that's yellow was the new
addition.
bit. So
Okay.
just clarifying that even though we've set specific hours, excessive noise is not desired anytime, but especially during the times that we've set. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that was the only thing. The jake breaking was a big thing down there as a violation.
Yes.
And for lack of any other way to word that.
Mhm.
And then
We
yeah,
specified.
edited continuous. So
Mhm. Yeah, not the, casual hello across
Right.
the street.
right. And then this one, I think the exception, this was a in addition, based on some comments we received, just talking about anything that might happen outside a normal time frame for people that might be working late or working a night shift and have to get home and
Right.
plow their driveway or whatever at 4 a.m. when they get home or something.
Right.
This kind of allowed for that, I think, for
Okay.
an extreme weather event.
Okay. Now, do we want to say extreme or just weather event?
Well, we have said extreme.
I know.
Uh,
I mean,
I
because
could-
I don't want this to be misconstrued.
No. Well, we could put
Okay.
a weather event, I don't know if there's a little bit softer word than extreme. Do we need an adjective in there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just don't want, people who
Due
would,
to,
take exception.
how about unexpected or
Okay, I think unexpected, yes.
Yes,
Unexpected is good.
instead of extreme? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, and the fact that, people who work all day and they have to come home, or they work and they
Right.
don't get off till 11 o'clock at night.
Right. I
they
mean,
need
things
to
might have
be able
been
to-
fine. Yeah, things might have been fine when they went to work, and by the time they get home, they've got a mess. So yeah, this hopefully covers
Okay.
that idea. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So we have all of that, and then down to number 5, emergency repair, we just added snow and ice.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think
Okay.
that was it. There weren't a lot. I mean, the discussion was a lot about the braking noise. I think this is okay by me. So I think as we would put it forth to select board, we just make that one change, but then just take out I think you'd want to take out the highlights, right? Or not?
Oh,
I don't
yes,
know.
I'll take
Yeah,
out the highlights,
Okay.
sure.
Now, what
Okay.
does this really say? November? Is that true? Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was, yeah, I will clean that up too.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get
Okay.
the recent, footer.
Yeah,
on
I'm gonna put I have noted here that
Yep.
January 2022 is gonna go on
Yeah.
the bottom so that we can track them.
Right. Now that's the only
Okay.
the only way to keep track of these. I
Yes.
think. Yeah. Was there something
And
else
then
here? Oh.
then we had this.
Oh.
No, this is something separate.
Wait a minute.
This goes with the,
Oh, no, this doesn't belong here.
right, that comes off.
Yeah.
Okay, I marked that to remove. I won't get rid of it. I will just move it somewhere else.
Just go back up to the last paragraph again. Okay, so how does it end? Is hereby authorized?
The police department is hereby under this bylaw by the town of Southampton.
To enforce.
Yes,
Okay,
and that's the
Yeah.
end.
I think that's fine.
Okay. All right, there we go. Virginia, any comments?
no, everything looks good now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this one
I mean,
marked up.
we just to be clear, we did not put any mention of any fines or penalties in here, right?
Mm-mm.
I'm just wondering why that was at the end of that one.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, yes. Let's see.
It seems like there's,
Violations. It describes the violation, but it does not say that any of
Yeah,
these are
something-
subject to.
something's missing here, no?
Seems like it is.
Oh boy, hang on, let me see if I don't know if I can get into my folder. Well, it feels like there should be at least that sort of standard sentence that, subject to,
Yeah, this last sentence at the bottom, that was
maybe
in
that.
the next one, just non-compliance.
maybe that first sentence in red. Okay, maybe that's it.
Yes,
I think that
So-
might belong in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, and then, no, we did talk about this at one time. Each act, if it's continuous for 30 minutes after it's been reported.
wait a minute. Yeah, but then the next one goes on to the rental property, the owner who doesn't reside on the property. That's about the dogs. That isn't about this.
It was about this.
No, but look at paragraph 3. If the violation occurs on the rental property. This came in from the dog bylaw.
I
Part of
thought-
it. Part of it
Alright.
did. But I think that the red sentence up top that's underlined, the non-compliance with this town approved bylaw is
Okay.
subject to non-criminal ticketing as established by the fee schedule periodically. I think that should be in there.
So that will
Otherwise,
be,
there's no real enforcement teeth to it, right?
Right.
I'm wondering I can't, when you're sharing, I can't get in and see my last draft on it, but
Uh-huh.
I'll take a look
This-
before we close off or
Okay.
after we close off and let you know if there's something different. It might have fallen off the trail here, but it seems to be that sentence needs to be in there. Otherwise the enforcement is kind of
Yeah,
empty.
it has nothing to it. Okay, so I will keep that in, and I'll move the next to another document so that we can come back to it,
Yeah.
and make sure we don't throw it away until we know exactly what we're gonna do with it. Okay, so I'll
Right.
add the red. Okay, anything else there?
Nope.
All right, so now going through my lesson here, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Right.
We're back to our screen. Hello, everybody again. All right, and we're going to move then to soliciting and canvassing. So I go to share screen. I didn't get out the right way. Oh boy, I did it.
So just go back to your document, your new document.
Okay, now I'll go back.
Okay.
Okay, so we're
Yep.
going now to soliciting and canvassing.
Okay.
And why isn't it here?
It's down to the last one. Article
There it
15.
is. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
Got it.
you see it all. Okay. And for some reason, I don't know why, I cannot get rid of that draft across the middle of this page.
Oh, it's a watermark thing.
Yeah, I know. And I go to watermark, I go to remove all watermarks, I can change footnotes, I can do anything except this particular word. So we'll see.
Okay.
But anyway, that's minor. Final changes. I don't think we talked about anything. I think what I had to do was put in the chapter, I believe, at that time, and I did, of the Mass General Law. And you go through now. When you went through when I sent, because this is the version I sent you, that's why I keep going back to that email. This is the one though that we mentioned of, the fee of
Right.
$100 per individual.
And up to 100 for the employer. Yeah. The
Right.
firm. Yeah.
Right. But that we needed to do because that's part of the, I think, permitting process.
Wait a minute. Is that a permit? No. No, that's a fine. That's a violation. The permit, we
Yes.
haven't said the permit.
We haven't set the fee, no, but it's a failure to prominently wear display the provided permit may result. Mhm.
Right, but there's a fee for the permit as well. Yeah.
Right, it's not
Yeah.
been mentioned. So let me just say, I mean, if we keep it in here, which is, I think was what we were advised to do,
Mhm.
we'll also show this on the fee schedule, just to be consistent.
Right. Yeah, I think
Okay.
anything like this, we should, even if it is written in the text of a bylaw, we need to be sure that whenever we update that whole fee schedule, that those are very,
Yeah,
sort of cross posted, I guess,
Right.
is what the reference
Yeah.
is.
so that we're consistent.
Right. And
Okay.
I don't think the permit fee was mentioned. I think that was one of those generic things too.
It was gonna
talked
be,
about it.
yeah, it was gonna be determined based on, Ian's experience and what are the costs of issuing permits and taking photographs and
Right.
all that other stuff.
Yeah, I
So
think
we left
yeah,
that
just
open.
scroll down a little bit. I think it talked about like the cost of lanyards and photos and somewhere, I thought. Maybe it's up above. I don't know.
It might be up above. Let me see.
Yeah. Application fee number C right there. Hold
Yeah.
on.
periodically determined by the select board based on recommendations by
Yeah.
the chief of police
Yep.
or
Okay.
designee.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I think that was all okay. I'm trying to remember what some of the, I don't remember too many comments about this. We put in the, anybody that's posted a no trespassing sign. That
right.
was one of the comments, and that's in there.
Mhm.
Um,
And then we also said if people submitted something to the police chief and their name and address was added to a do not visit list that was given to the solicitor at the time. That was the
Right.
other mechanism, and that's
Right,
in,
okay.
yes.
And then I think we established hours that soliciting was okay, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to see where that is. Permits.
Yeah.
Virginia, you still here?
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't gone away.
Okay, no, I because my screen is set up that I only see the person who's talking. So when you were quiet, I wanted to just make sure I didn't lose you, that I didn't do something.
No, see, I made copies, so I've got the
Yes.
copy in my hand.
Okay, so you're working off of that. Permits, each permit, I'm looking for, yeah. So soliciting and canvassing activities are allowed only Monday through Saturday between the hours of noon and 5.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so there was nothing on Sunday.
No,
Okay, and that was the other, I think that was the other issue.
Okay.
All
No,
right,
I think this is fine. I mean, we kind of were in a unclear situation as to whether, fees and penalties had to be included in the text or not. And I think, let's leave it to KP Law to tell us what they need to do,
Right.
because we had to do it for the wetlands, but it hasn't been consistent, I don't think. So
no, it hasn't.
I think we
Okay.
leave it in and let them tell us if it's okay.
All right, so this version is okay, as is. No changes except me getting rid of draft on page 1. All right, let me go back and we're going to look now at building numbering buildings. Okay. So I think we were all pretty okay with this.
yeah, there were no changes made, I don't think.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, we made all the changes early. We agreed to all those changes. The major thing was changing, some of the very stiff language, talking about Arabic numbers and so on, and the height of the numerals that had to be displayed and so forth. But it's all.
And just remind me on the preamble, I think we tried to address the public safety issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did, in the interest of public safety
Okay.
and to facilitate emergency responses. Okay. And then the other thing that we did add kind of after the fact was on page 2, section 7, it's recommended all existing homes comply with the provisions.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a recommendation, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that
I think
should,
that's okay. Yep.
yeah. Yeah, and we captured in the first paragraph, not only new construction and renovations, but any transfer of ownership is subject to this. That kind of grandfathers everyone else until one of these 3 things happen, right? Either they sell it, they renovate it, or they build a new one.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that should take care of that. Anything else on that one? Okay,
Not thinking so. No.
all right. So let's go back then, and we'll do the naming for the last time. The major changes in the naming one had to do with Let me get my written copy here. Had to do with specifying bridges, which I did in every appropriate place.
So it's not, well, it's not with the structures though. So it's not in the title though. It's just in structures.
It's in the definition of public lands. On the third sentence, not limited to playgrounds, parks, courts, athletic fields, bridges.
And why would that be public land versus public building or structure?
Well, you're right. So I'll put it under structure and take it from there.
It doesn't seem like it would be a land one to me. I don't know. Virginia, what do
No,
you think?
you're right. It is a structure. So I will put it, you know,
Or structures inclusive of bridges? I mean, something like that. I mean,
okay, all right, here, let me go back a second, okay? One second.
Yep. This looks like, I'm not sure if this was the edited version. I don't know. Maybe.
No.
Because you were, the last time we met, you
No.
were waiting on Reni's comments,
Yeah.
right?
And I did get them, and I do have one, so I sent you the wrong one. But let me just say to you, yes,
Okay.
Chris, you're right. I'll send it to you after the fact, but let me just read where the changes are on
Okay.
the revised one, since it's not this one. Under public building and structure, it's any structure, edifice, bridge, or other facility owned or maintained by the town. Okay,
Okay.
that was one place.
Okay.
All right. Under section 3, when we talk about the naming, among the list is once a public building, structure, bridge, or public lands. Okay, so it's been added there. I don't know how I ended up, you know, when you have so many versions of things, I'm sorry. But this one I'll send to you, it's January 2022. So that was another one. And then on the second page, I'll just sticking with the bridge, then we'll go back to another thing. Okay, on the second page, number 3, it would be no public building, structure, bridge, or public land. So bridge is there. And then that's it on adding bridge in where it's appropriate. If you think I should add it into the title, Chris, under structures, or is structure inclusive? To me, in my mind, structure is inclusive of bridges.
Yeah, it would feel to me that when you go down to the definitions there, public building structure, I mean, I guess we've got, you know, public building, then we have structure, then we have public lands. So I don't know whether it's public building / structure or not, but I would think in the definition, we could just say it once and for all. Any structure, like I've suggested, inclusive of, you know, inclusive of bridges, for example.
Yeah.
Bridges and, I guess it's not roads. So inclusive of bridges, I don't know.
It says any structure, edifice, any structure, bridge, edifice, or other facility owned or maintained.
Okay, so it's already in that definition.
Yes.
I don't know that you need to say it
In the title.
in the title, or even as you've just been adding them.
Okay.
I
I know,
guess
because I
wonder.
was trying to specify and add it to any place just to make sure that it was clear. But
Yeah, I guess I don't know whether that, you know, public building should be public building and or structure, public building. I don't know what it should be there. In the definition.
Public buildings / structure.
I guess I'm wondering if that's more, because that that kind of gives the the category, I guess. I don't know, because it's kind of public building structures and public land. So there's two separate
Right.
things in my mind, not three necessarily.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not sure. That would be the only way I would see that in the definition to make that clear. So other than putting a slash structure, I'm not sure how you illustrate that.
What if,
I would put public building / structure, and
Yeah.
then it says any structure, edifice, bridge, or other facility.
Mm-hmm. Virginia, you had something?
what I'm going to say, a comma at, generally, when you have a string of things, you don't use a comma after the last one before an and. But if
Right.
you put a comma after structures and public lands, as
Which,
it's
where are you?
right up in the very beginning.
At the
Okay,
title?
Yeah, not in the title.
Oh,
in the first paragraph.
In the first paragraph, well, you could do it in the title too. That comma indicates you're changing from and public lands.
mm-hmm.
They're not
So-
all the same.
So scroll up a little bit, Francine, if you would. Sorry. So in the purpose there, so
And
designating
public
public building.
buildings, structures, comma,
comma,
and public lands,
yeah.
separating that.
So
away.
you'd put a comma after structures there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know if it's grammatically correct, but I think it does carry what we want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make it
Okay. And I just so you know, on the version that I did, the one I made the revisions to that I didn't send you, I had structures, comma, bridges, and public lands.
and
Mhm.
comma after bridges.
Okay.
Yeah,
You want a comma after bridges.
yeah, that separates it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Public-
All right. Then I did that. So that'll be the correction, and I will send this to you as soon as we finish.
And then some grammarian is going to say you shouldn't have.
Okay, no, that's great. Thank you. All right. So we're good on this with these changes that I will send to you.
Okay,
And
Nope.
okay.
That's all there was for changes, was just adding in bridges?
Oh, no, I did, she wanted, there were some comments about criteria. Let me get to that section.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, on section 2, the second section, the second sentence, it says the select board may establish standards and criteria for consideration of proposed names or designations. And that's, okay.
I guess my question is, if we're going to do this, I would like to see this in one document. I mean, we may establish it. Okay, that's going to require some other effort at some point to establish something, to write it somewhere in some board of or select board policy, which will not be found or referred to. I guess I was kind of assuming that this would have a section that it listed at least 3 primary criteria, for
Okay,
example.
all right, here is the revision that I have in front of me.
Okay.
Okay, it says, any proposed name or designation of any public building, structure, or public lands shall be submitted to the select board in writing for its review and recommendation as to the appropriateness thereof. Applicable criteria for naming / renaming consideration shall include, but is not limited to, extraordinary service or contributions to the town, and or the designated item to be named relates to the individual service to the town. The select board may consider additional standards and criteria for consideration of proposed names or designations. Following a duly advertised public hearing and with a letter of support from the Southampton Historical Commission, where applicable, The select board shall forward its recommendation to the special or annual town meeting.
Okay, and I think one of those other criteria should be that nothing is named for somebody who's still living, no?
It does say that under 4B.
Yeah,
Right, but those are the criteria parts, Francine. I think all those
Okay.
things that are criteria should be grouped together, because
All
if
right.
somebody was thinking of something, they want to look and say, okay, what do I have to satisfy to even think about this,
Okay.
right? So I think you have a section, you know, number 3 or 2 or whichever one it is, criteria is the title of that section. And you frame out that, I mean, that would be my recommendation. So that we're seeing the criteria, but you can say that this is, you know, this is the whatever minimum criteria, others may be, you know, added as applicable or something like that, you know.
Okay,
but I mean,
so I'll move this, that nothing shall be named for any living person. I'll move it up into that paragraph, section 2 there.
yeah, and I think just for easier reading, instead of having a lengthy paragraph, just bullet it or something, bullet the
Okay.
points.
All the criteria, okay,
And but then have the criteria as a sub, you know, title of the, you know, point 2 or whatever it is.
yes, I hear you.
Okay.
All right, I'll reformat this then.
Yeah, it's a free formatting. That's all it is.
Okay,
is there some place where I thought I heard renaming?
you heard what? I'm sorry.
Did you include someplace? I thought I heard it renaming.
Yes, in item number 4, if you look, it says at the top, naming, renaming, or other designation.
Okay,
And I believe it's further up under procedure, the naming, renaming. It's mentioned several places where we're talking not just of the original name, but changing the name.
because we have a lot of places around town that either have not officially ever been named or were officially named. I mean, there are people that call the new town hall the Larrabee Building yet.
Yes, yeah, I didn't, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you because I didn't, having just moved here, when people would talk about I didn't know that they were talking about town hall. You're right.
Yeah. And I don't think, well, I'll be real honest, I don't think they would have been able to actually officially name that because not everyone thought she was wonderful.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so I'll reformat and send that to you as well. So now I owe you the latest version.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do send you nuisance and peacekeeping and the naming one with the reformatting and the latest version because that was not it. Okay.
I don't think we need nuisance again, do we? Why? Why do we need nuisance? You were just adding that thing about.
I was just adding that last,
Yeah.
piece.
No,
Okay.
just do that.
Right.
That's fine. This one has got
Right.
some significant formatting changes, so I would like to see this one again. Yes.
Okay, naming will be the only one you get back. The others I'll do fine. Okay. Because I'm sure that after the meeting with the select board, there'll be more changes.
Yes.
All right.
Hopefully not.
Those very picky people on the select board.
I know. I wish they could get rid of them.
All right. Now we'll move on to the next big one. And you have this is the latest version
Oh,
that we worked out with Nicole.
right.
And I guess my question here is, it's twofold. I mean, we made an agreement that we would post this for public comments beginning September or January 17th.
Mm.
And that we would hold a meeting on February 8th. And the only reason I'm hesitating is if this surge kind of thing continues, do we want to just push it back, you know, and to our next meeting to make a decision about when we're going to have the meeting?
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think we'd get a lot of people in person. I mean, we could do a Zoom, I guess, too.
Right. Oh, but that would be really difficult. I think maybe difficult to manage. I don't know. It depends on the number of people who turn, because, you know, they've had big meetings with the school that I've been on where they've had, and this is a topic that a lot of people are concerned about. So we might get 100 people or so.
Yeah, I
well,
think,
then, yeah. Go ahead.
No, that's my only concern.
yeah, I think we don't push it back and see where this goes. I know there are a lot of people talking that, and some who have a little more authority and knowledge on this, that we're like at the top of this peak and it's going to start dropping off. But I don't know that people feel that way right now.
Yeah. I don't know that there's any super urgency. I mean, I would hope we could get this done so it could be added in for the town meeting, but
Right.
to the extent we can get those other 4 off as a package,
Yep.
you know, to KP, that would be great to get those out of the way. And if this one was, you know, even a month later, this would be like the only other one we'd probably give them,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
I would be okay holding it off like a couple weeks. So pushing everything out maybe 2 weeks beyond what we had
Okay.
estimated.
All
I
right.
don't know.
So we'll look then at the beginning, and I'm not going to, you know, obviously this is just discussion purposes. We'll look at the beginning of February to post with a meeting date somewhere mid the last quarter of February. And that's if this thing.
Yeah. I mean, you were going to post it when? The 17th, you'd said, right? So
Of January, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we can still go ahead with that. It's just that we don't have a date for the other meeting. It's up to you guys. I mean, there's no harm in posting it as we originally planned, except that there's going to be such a gap between that and when we actually have the meeting. That's
Right.
all.
And this one hasn't been to select board at all yet, right?
Nope. So it would have to go to the select board. And let's talk about that a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
let's decide about when you want to post this. February.
Yeah, I mean, we'd need to get the comments done during February so that by March it's off to the lawyers, I'm
Right,
hoping.
right, yeah,
Or then we really wouldn't get it back in time.
okay. Or I can leave it, you know, to maybe the last week of January to
I was
post
gonna say
it.
maybe if we pushed it a week to post it.
Okay,
I mean,
so we'll look to post it on January 24th.
sure. And then,
And then just wait to announce a public meeting date.
yeah, why don't we wait a little bit just to see what's happening during January? But, you know, maybe it would be the following week in February that, you know, just pushing it out a little
Okay.
bit.
All right,
But sometime in February. So we could just state that, you know, later in February, there'll be a public
right.
meeting. Not a
Okay.
hearing, but a meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A meeting.
I think that would be okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and for some reason, this is all looking like it's all in bold to me.
I'm gonna take it down.
Okay.
Okay,
It kind of, yeah. Good. Okay.
Okay, and that will be, and I'll go back to our list to see if we added it as a, or added an article number for it. I'll have to see from the list.
And do we have, is this what do you have for the footer on this one, just so that we have the right version here? This is like.
I have
post-
January 2022.
Oh, okay, all right,
That's what's on here.
okay,
That's what's on the screen, this is taken directly from the email I sent you guys.
okay.
So I'm using the same documents I sent you.
Yeah, here, because we added in herding dogs. Yeah, I see that. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we did herding and, one other thing that she mentioned, but yes. Okay. All right, so that takes me, this is kind of a segue to,
Yep.
to something that came up last night at the select board is, I guess, what is the sequence? I mean, right now what we're doing is we're drafting. If need be, we'll have a, public comment, whether it's online or in a meeting or both. But usually before it goes to the public, we've taken it to the select board for their input. And then take it back to the select board with, once we've included the comments that we've gotten from residents.
Right.
What was discussed last night was go ahead and draft things. And we were talking specifically about, I'm trying to remember which was the item. Something about the personnel, some changes in our personnel handbook, and taking them to the town and then taking them to the select board. I would rather have the select board have two looks at it, once for inclusion of things, and then once as the final. I don't want to put something out to the public that the select board, for whatever reason, is diametrically opposed to, for
Yep.
one reason or another, then raise expectations on one hand and then have them taken away at the other. I would like this to be a more
Right.
inclusive process.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
we'll
I think, yeah, I mean, we could throw it, if we could get this, well, this just needs again, just some tweaking on the formatting. But we would, I guess, let me make the suggestion. So we've got 3 of the 4 already okay for select board. I think the naming one, could I suggest that we have a short meeting maybe next week just on the naming one?
Sure.
So that then we could get them all to the select board meeting for, hang on, the 18th, which means, well, by the 13th, they need to be with Ed for copying and including in the packet. So,
Right. So if we met on the 12th,
yeah, just on the naming one, if that would work, just to focus on that one only. And then if we can get that one agreed amongst ourselves, then this whole bunch, so 4 of them could go to select board as a package saying these have had all their reviews, they're ready to go to KP Law, and yet this dog one is your first look at it.
yeah.
We'd like your comments as a first look, but knowing that this is probably got a lot of interest and commentary, we're planning on doing a public information meeting on this, and wanted your feedback before that meeting. I think you could split them into two pieces for the agenda, I guess is what I'm saying, Francine.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'll do.
I think that
And
would work.
keep
I
it
think that would be good. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll meet on the 12th. We'll get the material to Ed by the 13th. The 4 will go, we're going to recommend go before the select board for final review before they go to the lawyer.
Mhm.
And the dog one will go for their preliminary look before we go to public meeting.
Right. I think that would be great. That would help, I think. So should we aim at 10 o'clock next week? Is that okay? Or
Let
what
me
works
just-
for anybody?
Let me just take a look. Yeah, it should. So the 12th at 10 o'clock, and I'll post that. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll just call that a, and sort of an off-schedule meeting, but I think, rather than waiting again and, let's just get this little one
Yeah.
tidied up. I think it's not that big a deal.
Okay, but that could be that meeting then on the select board meeting on the 18th could be pretty long. Okay, so bring your pajamas.
No.
Okay,
As much as I try to manage that agenda, I don't
I
know,
know.
I swear.
it happens.
They
Okay.
always look simple on the surface, and then you get into the discussion.
Yes, I know. And then we get into the weeds. Yes. All right, well, that works. Do you have any other comments on any of these? These four plus the dog? I will get you the naming version as we discussed today, so that you have it in front of you in time for our meeting next week. We'll finalize it, then I'll get those four to Ed by January 13th a.m. I know he gets a package out. Okay, good. All right. Other business? Okay, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at your emails yet, but you will have received an email from Lucy, which she forwarded to General Code, the E-Code people, showing a list of all the Massachusetts general laws that have been accepted by Southampton, and it starts in 1889 and it goes through 2019. I think this is an interesting piece.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Okay, just so you know. And the other comment was you did receive the final version of the E-Code outline that we're going to follow based on the meeting that we had with Deb. Remember the last Zoom meeting, and we made a couple tweaks to her proposed organization, and
Okay.
you should have gotten from Lucy as well the final organization on that.
Okay.
If you didn't, I can send it to you.
No, we
Like you
probably
to
did.
resend it.
I haven't focused on my email this morning, honestly.
Okay, yeah, it's listed as, the title is Final 12/1/2021.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
One quick question. The zoning bylaws are going to be in this too, right?
Yes,
And I keep hearing that, planning board and whomever are working with their consultant to revise their various bylaws and housing zoning and all that. Are they, I just don't want them spinning their wheels on making revisions of stuff that, well, I mean, our new E-Code people aren't going to revise anything, but I want them to just be clear that they understand that these zoning things are going to be included in this new structure. Are they aware of all this, do you think?
yeah,
The zoning people?
it's in the organization indexing. They're listed, the Division 1 is all general bylaws.
Right.
Then Division 2 is zoning, so there's a placeholder there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know there was a placeholder. I just didn't know that Lucy or anybody had ever talked to them and told them that this was happening. I mean, I've had no contact with either plan or zoning to know that. So I just want to be sure that nobody's spinning their wheels at their end on their bylaw stuff.
Without this, okay.
I mean, if they're writing, if they're doing what we're doing, then, that's all going to happen. But
I don't know about zoning, but I know that the planning has been working on bylaw revisions for some time.
yeah, okay. Well,
Um,
it's just more of a matter of just, making sure that, they understand that at some point in time, they're going to all look like whatever this new system is going to look
Right.
like. So no matter how much they format and edit and whatever else, but.
Right, I know that the zoning folks signed off on the document, the outline before we did, if you remember that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So
Okay. I
they're
forgot that.
aware.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay,
I rest my case. I just wanted to be sure of that. Thank you. Okay.
all right, it just may take some time.
Yeah, no, I know.
I
that there-
thought, yeah, you know, this stuff is a lot harder than it looks. Like when it gets down on paper, you say, oh, is that all it is? But
Right.
getting there
Oh, yeah.
is the tough part.
Yeah, we will agree with that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else? Okay.
Nope.
So we're going to see each other on the 12th at 10 o'clock. And I'm going to recommend, if you're okay with that we do Zoom.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, until we know better. I don't know if this is going to get worse or better in the next few weeks. And then do you want to go ahead and schedule then our next meeting would be, let me just look at the calendar here. Our next regular meeting would be Wednesday, February 2nd. Is that right? Does that work? I hear somebody's objecting in there.
My cat, I swear.
She doesn't like February 2nd.
Well, I guess I wonder if if we have what other business will we have before us, I guess. So okay, so we may have some revisions to do on the dog thing, maybe after select board. So yeah,
Right.
there would be a
Yeah.
need for meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
But that would be it. And two, then maybe we'll have a better grasp on when we want to schedule the public hearing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Good point. Okay.
Public meeting. Okay.
Sure.
So it should be short on the 2nd, but it'll be those two. Okay.
Okay.
Virginia, do you have anything you want to add here?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
You know, it's a good thing. I think we did this by Zoom today. The roads were really terrible early
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah,
I've
Virginia
had
and I
two or
were,
three people tell me how bad slippery they were. Even Ed had trouble getting into work from Springfield today.
yeah, Virginia and I were talking before you got on. It was a
Yeah.
good thing because we've watched people crawl by our house, literally.
Hmm.
So yes, it was good. All right.
Okay.
So if there is nothing else, and we have the meeting on the 12th and then another one again on February 2nd. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Or, yep. I'll second.
Second, okay, all in favor?
Okay.
Aye. All right,
Aye.
everybody, be safe.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye
you.
now. Bye. Zoe.